doesn't always feel like fire. Sometimes it feels like fog, like showing up in the mist, trusting there's a path even when you can't see it. Like praying with no reply, writing with no response, mentoring with no map. But I've learned that fog is still holy ground, because it teaches you to walk by faith, not by sight. That's what this season became for me, a slow, sacred walk through the fog. Not dramatic, not dazzling, just deliberate. I kept mentoring, kept writing, kept building, and slowly my creative business began to take shape, not as a brand, but as a bridge, a way to connect stories to souls, a way to turn emotional wisdom into encouragement, a way to serve without striving. I didn't have a blueprint. I had breadcrumbs, little signs, little nudges, little confirmations that I was on the right path. A message from a woman who felt seen, a comment from a mother who felt heard, a post that reached someone in the middle of their breakdown. And every time I'd whisper, "Thank you," not to the algorithm, but to the author. Because this wasn't just content, it was calling. This wasn't just engagement, it was encouragement. This wasn't just strategy, it was surrender. I started refining my voice, not to be louder, but to be clearer, not to impress, but to impact, not to perform, but to pour. I started curating my presence, not to be perfect, but to be purposeful, not to be polished, but to be prophetic. And through it all, my children watched. They saw the late nights, the quiet tears, the moments when I chose prayer over panic. They saw the posts, the captions, the comments, the way I turned pain into poetry and waiting into wisdom. And slowly, they began to reflect it. My daughter started journaling. My son started asking deeper questions. They began to see that strength isn't just loud, it's loving. That faith isn't just fierce, it's gentle. They began to understand that legacy isn't just what you leave, it's what you live. And I saw it in the way they comforted each other, in the way they prayed before bed, in the way they spoke life into their friends. I saw the ripples, and I wept. Because this is what I fought for, not just a job, not just a platform, but a legacy of grace, of grit, of God, a legacy that skates through generations, leaving trails of light and love. I still have foggy days, days when the path feels unclear, days when the music skips and the routine falters. But I've learned to trust the footwork, to trust the rhythm of grace, to trust the choreography of faith, because even when I can't see the full routine, I know the one who wrote it. And he never wastes a fall. He never forgets a fight. He never overlooks a quiet yes. So I keep skating through the fog, through the fire, through the faith, because this is what I was made for. To rise.to reflect, to ripple.to build a legacy that lingers long after the music fades.